Hello, divine creators. Welcome to Dumela Universe. We are Kemet. Thank you so much for joining us. This is a collective reading, and this is for Sagittarius season 2023. We are well into Sagittarius, so let us see what's coming through. Sagittarius 2023. What's coming through? What are we learning? What are we experiencing? What are we receiving? What are we creating? What is the alchemy? Sagittarius 2023. Let us see what is coming through at this time. Okay. We have the Eight of Wands. That infinity frequency. As within, without. Powerful energy at the center of the read. And paired with the Nine of Cups. Wow, 8 and 9, already a progression of energies. Wow, okay, beautiful, powerful frequencies happening here in Sagittarius season. The Eight of Wands, changes, transformation, communication, swift flowing frequencies, which honor your source space. Okay, this is transformation and change in order for you to come to your wish fulfillment, in order for you to come into your wanted path, your wanted desires, your wanted experiences. So it is, remember, beautiful beings, in order for you to receive this desired path, your destined path, your soul path, your wish fulfillment, you are then clearing up anything and everything which would deny you this. So we feel there's a huge shifting of energies, the Sagittarian season, a spring cleaning house, in order for you to finally align to your Nine of Cups energy. So this is a very learning season, a lot of awareness, understanding, and we see the music here coming through. Frequency shifts. There's some frequency adjustments also happening in order to align you to your Nine of Cups, raising your frequency, clearing your frequency, transmutations and purging. So energetically, there's a huge shift in your frequency levels to tune you, fine-tuning to the right frequency, the right pitch, which allows you to truly attract and align to your Nine of Cups energy. And also in your physical experience, shifts and changes you are making. You are being aware of energies which no longer serve you, being aware of situations and ways of being which no longer serve you. You are really being opened up, and it really feels like fine tuning here. Almost that source is quite nitpicky with you, with all of us, okay? And you might be feeling, oh, source, why are you so strict? Why must everything be so exacting? Is it so bad if I keep doing that? Is it so bad if I keep doing that habit? Is it so bad if I keep enjoying that? Is it so bad if I keep seeing that person? And source is saying, no, there's nothing about it being bad. There's no right or wrong. We're not judging you. It's just that if you want that destiny, if you want the Nine of Cups energy, if you want that energy, if you really want to receive it, that path, that destiny, that manifestation has a specific frequency it's aligned to, for it to manifest the way that you want it. Because you're not just wanting a blah, 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 whatever manifestation. You want it with all the love, with authenticity and truth, with complete source awakening, awareness, source awakening. You are asking for whole manifestations, for rich manifestations. And remember, This is Sagittarius season, and Sagittarius is the frequency of wholeness, right? The centaur, half horse, half human. You need to honor the whole being in order for you to create your magic. You can't just honor the superficial physicality. You need to also honor the source. All the frequencies need to be in balance. The wholeness of you needs to be in balance, right? So Source is saying, yes, it is time for your wish fulfillment. It is time for you to receive your destined path. It is time for things to work out for you. And so you are going through this fine tuning, and you can feel it. You can just feel what needs to go and what is not working for you. And you can feel the purging and the clearing and the shifting and the transmuting of energies. And it's very much, we're just seeing fine tuning. And some of you might feel a bit frustrated or agitated because it feels that there's still more work to do, or the work is never done. And Source is saying, oh goodness, this is literally the last little adjustments in order for you to align. Imagine you've baked a cake and now it's ready, and you are wanting to serve it. You are ready to serve it. You're ready to cut a slice and serve it. But you know very well that should you put a little bit of this on top, a little bit of that on top, should you make this little syrup and you drizzle it on top, it'll be perfect. And those are the fine tunings, the little adjustments that Source is aligning within you and that you are making to assist you to really be open and receptive to your 9 of Cups frequency. Source asks you to be patient with this process. Be patient with yourself, because these can't be forced either, right? So should there be a habit or an aspect that you are keeping, or a way of being you are keeping, which is denying the frequency or the energy you want to come in, you need to willingly and with your own volition release it in a way where it's not forced, or you're not feeling hard done by or any of that, right? Source is saying you will feel the urgency of it, because not because any external thing is forcing it, but simply because your desire for the more is dominant. So it's really making what's not allowing that more coming in very obvious, very evident to you. And so you will at some point just come to this, okay, I know that wasn't serving us. Okay, I know that wasn't serving me. Okay, fine, Source, fine, we'll release it. And then you'll just let it go. It'll happen quite organically. But just be aware that this process is coming through. Some of you will be experiencing this with physical purging. Maybe some of you feeling physically tired, or getting a cold or a fever, or some aches and this and that, some ascension symptoms, because this fine tuning is saying, okay, well, this energy needs to go. And the only way it can go is not through conversation, is not through your astral dream world, it's not through thoughts, it's not through your conscious knowing. It has to be done through a physical manifestation, through your body, and then you're just purging this energy. So if you're having a weird rash, or you're having just a weird bodily colds, or just symptoms which are just irregular, and when you go for a checkup and when you get tested, or there's nothing that comes back conclusive, you're seemingly very healthy, you're just having a random reaction. And that is these frequencies purging and releasing from you. Okay, so just be aware of this shifting of energies that's happening. But it's happening across board, not only in your physical, but in your energetic body, your spirit body, your soul body, in your mental body, in your emotional body. All of you is having this fine tunings. Right now we heard this You know, we don't know if any of you have had the honor and the blessing of watching a live orchestra, or a performance where there is a live music, especially where there's string instruments and they do their tuning in the beginning, and it's this cacophony of sounds of just not really making sense, but you can just hear all of the music instruments just tuning and just getting there, getting aligned so that all the instruments are on the same frequency. And that's what's happening to you on a whole spectrum of you. Okay. That's why it might be feeling a bit weird or overwhelming, or just you just might be feeling a bit off, not really understanding why are we feeling a bit off. There's nothing really wrong, but just feeling a little bit off. And it's not that you're feeling off, you're just going through these adjustments to get everything into harmony in order for you to open up to the Nine of Cups energies, these energies that you are ready to receive. Interesting. Okay, at the base, Source says some of you might perhaps understand it more in terms of you're about to go on a long journey, so you take your car in for a service, right? And everything, it's a whole check from top to bottom. Everything is being checked to ensure that everything is in perfect alignment for this journey, for this new venture you are about to take on. And look, the Empress, why? Because you are now ready to be the vessel, to be the conduit that brings through your source frequency into this physical realm and embodies it and manifests it and expresses it as source, to become the alchemist, to become the creator, the source creator of your reality. You are ready to bring through the seeds that you are ready to authentically plant on earth on a soul level. You're ready to bring through your music, to bring through your story, to bring through your frequency in its purity, to be birthed upon earth. So anything now that is not aligned to the purity of your frequency, and remember, it's not a judgment, there isn't a right or wrong. Purity simply means the truth of your frequency. So wherever your source frequency truly is, that energy, everything is recalibrating to honor that frequency, the Sagittarius season. So it feels like these bodily shifts or these energetic shifts or these emotional shifts, and you're being a lot more self-conscious, or it's just you're having all of these emotions or sensitivities and or bodily physical shifts and changes, or perception shifts and changes, and it feels just quite globally overwhelming because you're having all these shifts, but perhaps nothing in the physical is necessarily changing or aligning, and you are ready. So saying you're ready for these manifestations. So says, yes, we know that you're ready to receive your blessings. Here they are. We know you're ready to have that destined path. We know. And we're ready to offer it to you. You are just literally going to the fine tuning to really to be able to hold your frequency in its clarity, right? And your frequency, your source energy, now that you have anchored it in, it's now dominant, and it's now saying we want to release and override all of these things that take away from your energy, that drain your energy, that misuse your energy, that diminish your energy, that splinter your energy. And it might be your habits, your ways of being, your expressions, your thoughts, how you go about your day. It can be maybe other relationships or activities, experiences. So Source is saying we're making these adjustments, and you are finding yourself shifting and coming into more understandings of what needs to be released, even if it's something that's not necessarily harmful to you or necessarily, even considered a bad thing, but you are having this urge just to let it go. It's because your source frequency is saying, the way that you are on earth is being shifted to source so that you can contain source, so that you can be the conduit, so that you can hold and have source within very clearly. Remember the analogy we had a few months ago, that you are this drop of water coming into this. You are water and the human collective was oil. And in order for you to come into this energy, in order for you to come into this realm, you had to become the oil like they were, unawakened. But remember, you had the teachings of water within you. So slowly as you awakened, you transformed yourself back to water, and you found yourself being water amongst the oil. And that gave you that sense of feeling the collective pain, being very sensitive. You could feel your other, but you were asked to remain water, not to slip and revert back to oil to make it feel easier for you, but to remain water. And you've been remaining water beautifully and wonderfully and wholly. And now you are ready to shift to the realm of water, where you're no longer this water droplet in oil, but you're now rather this water droplet receiving paths, receiving opportunities of water, receiving experiences of water, receiving co-creations of water. And so you are ready to receive these. And what's happening is now you are now anchoring source frequency, right? And now this container of yours used to hold oil because you had to become oil, and then it slowly changed to water, right? And now source is saying, imagine that the lining of the container still has a little bit of oil, a tiny bit of oil. As you know, if you've had a container which has oil in it, right? When you rinse it, when you rinse it with water and you take the water out, when you feel the sides, it's sometimes a bit oily, right? You have to actually take soap to really scrub the sides to get rid of the oil in order for the container just to have water, right? Do you understand that concept? That you have this bottle or this jar which used to contain oil, and then now you want it to be a vessel of water, so you rinse it out with water, and you've been doing that, rinsing it out with high vibrational source energy. But then when you rinse it out and when you feel the sides still oily, you need to take some soap to scrub the edges, scrub the container, and then rinse it out. And now finally, it's now glass again, just glass. And when you put water in, it's just water. And that's what's happening. That lining of oil is being released. The little bit of layers, because the container needs to be able to hold the water 100% without any oil. The water wants to touch the container. It doesn't want to have a boundary of oil, okay? A lining of oil. And that's what's happening. Your container, your vessel, you're experiencing is being deep cleaned right now, fine-tuned, in order for you to be a pure vessel of water, to contain source, in order to call in those paths of water you are wanting, those paths of source, those paths of destiny. Beautiful beings, if you see that the video, there's a bit of almost like a slight little skip or a pause, we're just pausing it in between to clear our throat or to sneeze or cough. We have a bit of a cold, And we know that some of you wear micro headphones rather, or earphones, and we do not want to cause you too much discomfort by sneezing or coughing in your ear. Okay. And look, past energies, the devil, yes. You've healed the mirror frequency. You are ready for your reality to mirror you in clarity, right? You are ready for your physical experiencing to mirror the source frequency you are. You've done the work to heal the mirror frequency, to release fear of your true authentic self. This is Capricorn energy, the 10th house energy, your legacy. You're ready now to build your destiny in the reflection of you, in the clarity of you. Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, and Saturn, the planet, is a very powerful teacher, showing you where you deny yourself source, showing you where you behave in a way which doesn't honor the source you are. And again, it's not a judgment. Each and every single one of you are very, very unique. We're all having very unique ways of being. So our way of being is very different from your way of being, which is very different to the next person's way of being. But if it honors you truly, that it's all source, right? So you are having this clarity of energy to ensure that you are honoring your frequency entirely, which is why Source is saying a lot of us beautiful beings who are awakening are not really at the same space. You're finding yourselves around the world feeling sometimes a bit lonely, sometimes a bit, removed from other healers, from other beings awakening. And you're thinking, Source, why must we be alone in this time? Why can't we have other like-minded energies? And Source is saying it's because we don't want that overlap. We do not wish you to influence each other in observing each other's ways and thinking, I'm doing it right, I'm doing it wrong, or maybe I should do it your way, maybe I should do it. Source is saying each of you are to awaken in your very own individual ways. And once that crystallized, once the frequencies have crystallized, once that container contains you completely without any oil, without any disruption to you, then the communities of like-minded energies can come together, because now you will not sway each other. You will honor the other person's process. You will not hinder, you will not try to direct them in a way that you understand. You will simply observe and honor their process as you observe and honor yours. Okay, let's see crowning. Crowning energies. The Chariot breakthrough. Sources saying, oh, trust. You will come to a breakthrough. You really, really will. And the Chariot is Cancerian energy, is it not? The crab from water to earth. All the teachings you learned through the divine feminine, the spirit, the unknown, the water, you are now applying on land, the physical, as earth, as the divine masculine frequency. And so you are becoming one with source, and this process, this transformation is allowing you to finally have that breakthrough, that clear path to the 9 of Cups you've been wanting, to your destiny, to your dreams come true. A breakthrough is coming through the Sagittarian season. We know it's been a slow process. We know each of you have been wanting more. We know it's been feeling like nothing is happening, nothing is changing, that energies are slowing, that maybe some of you feeling maybe you've been doing something wrong, maybe there's something you've missed. And so saying, no, you haven't missed anything. You're exactly where you need to be. You're exactly right on schedule. You are doing beautifully and brilliantly. You are simply going through a very fine tuning, balancing to wholeness in order for you to align to your breakthrough, to your destiny, to your 9 of Cups energy. In the near future, so Source is saying right now there's a shift. This is what you're thinking of. You want a breakthrough. You're asking Source, something's got to give. Something's got to give. And look, the breakthrough mirrors the Empress. The breakthrough is what you came here to give birth to. So you understand the energies that are working. It's not just a little bit of a move. It's not just a bit of a tick on a box. No, you are the breakthrough, the major breakthrough you are headed towards is the breakthrough of the manifestation of your destiny, of your true source destiny on earth. This is the breakthrough you're about to experience, that which you were born, truly born to be, to do, to manifest, to become, to experience, to explore, to discover. So trust this process as you are doing a beautiful shifting. It just feels strange because this fine-tuning doesn't really require a lot of efforting on your part. You've done the working, you've done the efforting, the cocooning, and before the cocooning, that was a lot of conscious purging, releasing, active releasing, boundary setting. So this is more of a passivity, as everything around you is just fine-tuning. And yes, you might maybe have a thought of, oh, I should probably release that, and then you release it, but for the most part, it's all happening intrinsically, energetically, on a frequency level. So it feels a little bit like, now what? What must I do, Source? I don't feel like, what is my role? What is my purpose? Why does it feel like, nothing is happening? What must I do now? And it feels almost like you are helpless, and Source is saying, no. You are just to now honor. You just keep honoring Source. You just keep being authentic in every space. You just keep doing that which honors you. You just keep your frequency high. You just keep focusing on Source. We, Eight of Wands, we are creating all these shifts all around you. And you just observe and respond. Don't react. Just respond in how you feel guided to, whether it's releasing, whether it's stepping into, whether it's exploring, whether it's staying still. It'll just be an organic experiencing of these shifts, okay? Imagine the Wheel of Fortune. You're at the center and everything is spinning. Don't get distracted with the spinning. Don't get distracted with what's being rearranged. Don't try to understand it. You just remain there at the center and observe, and soon everything will come to a anchoring, and then you'll be able to explore more hands-on. In the near future, look at this, the King of Swords. Understanding will return to you. Clarity. Right now, Source is saying we understand if you're confused. We understand if you don't know what's going on, if you feel a bit detached, if you feel a bit removed, if you're feeling what happened. Everything was going well, everything was aligned, and all of a sudden you just feel like, and then nothing. Now it's just quiet, and Source is saying, oh no, so much is happening. So much is happening now to catch up to the work you have done. And in the near future, you are coming into the understanding, because you are literally integrating one with Source, King energy in the physical realm. You will come to that clarity. You will come to that understanding. You will come to that beautiful, profound epiphany and perception change and revelation and resolution. You will have the understanding you have been wanting, the clarity. Things will make sense, and you'll understand exactly why you had to just be patient and not rush into anything at this time. It'll make perfect sense. Very soon you will understand your path, and where you are will be clear, And it's coming through the Sagittarius season, okay? By the end of the season, you'll be like, okay, I understand the shifts I had to make, okay? I understand why it was essential for me to release that, okay? I understand why that habit was actually not serving us, okay? I understand why that experiencing was actually taking away from us, okay? We're now understanding these fine tunings, okay? Because remember, when we were in the cocoon, we understood it through spirit's understanding. Your spirit frequency, the divine feminine, came through, and we understood it through that perception. And now you are coming to understand it through your physical perception, through the divine masculine perception. And that, because it's in the physical realm, it requires the physical to align so that you experience it in the physical to come to your understanding. So it just happens in almost reverse order, where when you're in the cocoon, you first shifted within and then you saw the experience shift without. Now that you're back in the physical is shifting to honor you, and then you experience it, and then the understanding. So it's just this, you're getting used to how the physical source operates. And source is saying, just be patient. Soon it'll all make sense, and you'll be able to bring both worlds together. The feminine and the masculine frequencies, you'll be able to understand how now they co-create in unison and in harmony. Okay, your power at this time. What is your power? 5 of Cups. You see, releasing. 5 of Cups, releasing. You are really letting go of some attachments, which in the physical, which you perhaps did not see as something that was a problem, but it was actually taking away from you. It was actually restricting you from seeing yourself in clarity. Okay, so it is the releasing of anything, that layer of oil around the water container, that hinders you from having the mirror frequency see you in clarity, that hinders the purity of your source frequency from coming through, that hinders this infinity energy as within without, that hinders you from your 9 of Cups from moving forward. And it's also saying you have the power to release these things. And it's time that you now and it's time that you now feel how can we say this? It's you have the power to release them. That is what we mean. It's you no longer make excuses for them. Let's say that. You no longer make excuses, and the more you almost hold on to it, the more bizarre or the more splintered your energy feels in the physical at this point. To the point where you just, even if whatever it is you're releasing isn't an obvious, doesn't have obvious, how can we say, a direct impact. For example, maybe there's, how can we give this as an example? Let us think. Maybe it's, maybe you say you're at work, right? Or in a social setting with friends or family, and there's maybe a person there who engages in maybe a bit of drama or a bit of, just mildly, not even hectically low vibe, but just mild complaints. So it's just a little bit like, it's a little bit negative, and it's not enough to agitate you. It's not enough to make you upset. It's not like they, force you into these conversations. And generally, when you are in that space, when they're having this conversation, you can just almost, release them, and you don't really pay attention. And about maybe like 5 minutes later, the conversation is light again. So it's not somebody who's heavy and really dragging the energy down. It's just they sometimes have a tendency to complain about something, something light. So you never really paid attention to it. It wasn't really something that you thought was an issue. But now it's like it's the only thing that you can see in your life. It's the only energy. That 5 minutes of complaining is the only thing that you have to actively, cognitively almost transmute, be aware of, and release every single time it happens. And so you come into this understanding of, oh, okay, so I actually have to release this person, or I have to tell them that I don't want to hear them complain. It's so, okay. And it could just be like, a colleague, or so it's not somebody who's in your life 24/7, but it's just those slight moments you're realizing, oh, Source, that's very specific. And Source is saying that's literally the only energy. That's literally it. And you're realizing, okay. And you have the strength to release it. You have the strength to speak your truth. And you're just saying, look, I've been doing work to really be positive and to not complain. And as much as I enjoy our conversations, we feel that at times you do tend to complain quite a bit about things in your life. And it's okay. We're not judging you. We are not shaming you. There's nothing wrong with that, with you being how you wish to be. But we don't really want to be in that energy anymore whatsoever. So could we possibly keep conversations maybe less in the complaining energy? And if you can't, if that's how you want to be, then we will just have to release and not communicate so much, and that's okay. And you are no longer feeling awkward about it. You're no longer feeling embarrassed about it. You're no longer feeling shy about it. And as you do it, you actually see how the person, because you're in your truth, the person is quite, they might be taken aback about it, but they're not angry. They're not, they're not going to outwardly do anything negative. It almost gives them food for thought, because they really maybe enjoy your energy, or maybe they're like, okay, and they just release you just in harmony. So it's these minor adjustments where it's something that you didn't really think was a biggie, or you overlooked, or it was such an attachment to you, or it's just something that you fundamentally thought you could carry on with you. You didn't think it's something that you could possibly ever leave behind. And you're realizing, Source is saying, yeah, no, it has to go. And you have the power to release it. You're no longer, it's so obvious. And you can feel how it's almost restricting your movement forward, that you very happily release and let it go. And again, it's not a judgment. It's not a right or wrong. It's just more, it's that fine tuning to what honors your frequency. Let's see the environment around you. The Emperor, yes. Look, the Emperor and the Empress, and they mirror each other. The environment around you finally honoring the truth, the frequency of you, the divine masculine and feminine in harmony, right? This is the energy you are receiving, that pure source frequency, that pure unknown energy, the shadow, the unknown, the source frequency, the divine feminine, the magic, you receiving your highest frequency, and then this is now the environment around you, where you are now actioning in your highest frequency. The container, the physical experiences, the physical vessel, your physical realm, the light frequency is now purified to the frequency of your source frequency. They're in equilibrium. And remember, purification is not what humans think of. Oh, shiny, sparkly. No, that is the illusion where they try to make right and wrong. Not that. It is you are being purified to your source frequency, whatever that source frequency is, no matter how it looks like, you are being purified to that source frequency. Okay. Embracing all that you are, but it is purely you, without anything of the illusion, anything that takes away from you being the emperor and the empress in your life is being released, and you have the power to do so. You feel empowered to do so. You no longer wish to deny yourself the truth of you. This is the Sagittarius energy, the wholeness of you, right? The centaur frequency, the magic, the shadow, the unknown, and the physical, the light, the known you get to explore and discover. Your hopes and fears. Queen of Swords, and you have the King and the Queen of Swords. Look at this. Another balancing, right? Hopes and fears. Look at what Source is saying. Fate, destiny. Do not worry. You may feel scarred, bruised, battered, but you are on your way to your destiny. You are finally on your destined path. You don't have to fear that you will not succeed, that things won't work out for you, that you will not achieve. You are on your destined path, and your destined path requires true authenticity completely here. The King and the Queen of Swords, one of Source, true, clear, authentic, honest, open, the complete truth of you being. And the Swords frequency is air energy, right? Heart chakra is air. Divine love energy, intuition, no longer thinking thoughts from the illusion or creating from the mind, but rather receiving thoughts, your brain translating the vibration of your source, receiving intuitive, inspired energies, instincts from Source, guidance and clarity, you honoring your truth, completely, complete authentic expression of you. That is the key to your destiny. So do not fear being in your truth. Just as that scenario with you being in the office space with that colleague that tends to complain for 5 minutes, and you realizing 5 minutes, it's too long. 5 seconds is too long, let alone 5 minutes of complaining. So now you're saying, I'm sorry, but not sorry actually, but no longer engaging in those conversations. And it might be somebody you like, it might be a colleague you actually really get along with, but you are just saying truthfully, cannot be in that space. And your authenticity and your truth really assists in the healing to fine-tune you to your destiny. You no longer fear your truth and your clarity. You allow your truth and your authentic clarity to be that which is mirrored. You no longer limit, you no longer dim your light, you no longer water and dilute your clarity for others. You no longer make yourself palatable for others. You allow the truth of you, the clarity of you, the authentic frequency of you to be that which is mirrored, which is reflected back in the physical realm. Your outcome? Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. Everything working out in your favor, beautifully. You are seen in your clarity. The divine feminine and masculine energies, which is the shadow and the light, the receiving of all that you are, and the actioning of all that you are, in harmony, in clarity, in playfulness, innocence awakened. You exist fully. You exist wholly. Healing, divine manifestation. You are truly on the right path. You really, really are. It might not feel like it at this time because you're feeling these adjustments, these shifts, you are feeling different, right? Because the way in which you connected to source when you were in the spirit, only in the shadow, because that's what happened, right? You were here in the emperor energy, unawakened, and you were creating recklessly, creating the absence of source recklessly, right? So the divine feminine was like, okay, we need to come in and fix this. So then you became the embodiment. And as you became the embodiment of the divine feminine, you learned how to feel like the sun through spirit, through the shadow. And you understood. And you remained. And you finally understood how to be the sun. You finally understood how to remain as the sun. Boom, right? And then spirit's like, fantastic, now, and then what happened? You finally understood how to be in the physical as the sun. And the spirit said, fantastic, now, you do you, boo. You know the learnings, you know the teachings, stay here. And now here you are and thinking, ooh, this feels different. This feels very different. Because now you don't have this other realm, world influencing you. Remember, you are to hold this in your own frequency, on your own. And now you are feeling this energy. You are getting used to this energy. You're feeling the adjustments. Remember, these two mirror each other, right? So you're feeling the adjustments of how it feels to be the sun, to be authentic, to be your truth in the physical. And as you are feeling this, you are coming to this balancing. And soon you'll be able to feel the balance between your shadow and your light, wholly as one again. You are just getting used to this integration. That is why it feels weird and different. How you connect to source feels different now. How you connect with energies feels different. And that is because you are now finally back here, but not like this, in the illusion, not existing. You're now in this position on earth. And you're just getting used to this. And Source is saying, trust. This is the fine-tuning that's happening. You really being whole in the physical, being your truth, being your authentic self. And once this has occurred, you then become the sun. And look, they're back together again. They're back together again. And you feel that balance again. Okay, now we know how to create wholly. Now we know how to create with the shadow and the light as source. Okay. And at the bottom of the deck, the Queen of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. Strength. And look, strength is following through. Strength is following through, and that is releasing the conditioning, right? You being your complete authentic self. But we shall... And look, the Ace of Pentacles, new physical manifestations, new physical beginnings, but it's also saying we wish you to focus on the Queen of Pentacles. You receiving you completely. You are the one who is now in control of your life. You're no longer being controlled by others. You don't have other people pulling the strings. You are pulling the strings in your life. You are receiving you. You are receiving you. You are finally receiving you in the physical realm. That Nine of Cups energy, that breakthrough, your manifestations. You're feeling stable. You're finally receiving your worth and your value. And it brings through new manifestations and new physical becomings, new discoveries, new you. So beautiful being Sagittarius is a healing to your wholeness. Remember, 2023 makes a 7, and 7 is all about spiritual balancing. Everything balancing to source. Everything balancing to source. That's the 7. So Sagittarius frequencies are now anchored as source. So you are being whole as source. You are being the alchemist as source. So this frequency of Sagittarius is doing those fine tunings, that alignment to your alchemy, to your magician. You are finally being as source, wholly in the physical realm. And this is what you're experiencing right now. And it might be uncomfortable. Don't fear. You're simply coming to your clarity, to your truth, to your authentic expression. And you have the power. You feel strong enough. You feel powerful enough. You have the strength, remember. Here we saw it here. The strength. You have the strength to release the conditioning, to release, to set yourself free, in order for you to receive you and manifest new Ace of Pentacles, new physical manifestations, which you have been asking for. New physical conversations, physical experiences, new physical opportunities, new physical everything that honors you in your clarity, that honors you free of conditioning. Blessed be.